Peace and blessings. What's going on, family? You are listening to Sister Soul live on the main radio, and we will be bringing you a little bit of information in regards to some things I've been pondering on this week. So I'm gonna get you guys started with a little bit of music. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you're tuning in each and every Sunday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on the main radio. You can also reach me at sistersoul.com to stay informed on all current content and information. Thanks so much for joining, and we will begin. Truth about slavery refuse to respect. About to talk about it.
Who are you? You don't know? Don't tell me Negro. That's nothing. For you to go away, man, mean you a Negro. And where were you? And what did you have? What was yours? What language did you speak then? What was your name? It couldn't have been Smith or Jones or Blunt or Powell. That wasn't your name. They don't have those kind of names where you and I came from. No, what was your name? Being here in America doesn't make you an American. Being born here in America doesn't make you an American. You wouldn't need any legislation. You wouldn't need any amendments to the Constitution. No, I'm not an American. I'm one of the 22 million black people who are the victims of American. One of the 22 million black people who are the victims of democracy. Nothing of this size in my life. I see America through the eyes of a victim.
Truth about slavery, many refuse to respect. How my people built this country out their own blood and sweat. America's just that house that slavery built. And I'ma speak on the facts since no one else will. Your name in capital letters is a corporate entity, while you remain suspect to intellectual property. James Marion Sims' father of gynecology experimented on slave women in the 1840s, trying to get this C-section. Hundreds of babies died at birth, but they still support the medical system. It's swear that shit works. No cure for cancer, ALS, AIDS. Wait, ain't y'all a little late?
Being here in America doesn't make you an American. Being born here in America doesn't make you an American. What made you American? You wouldn't need any legislation. You wouldn't need any amendments to the Constitution. No, I'm not an American. I'm one of the 22 million black people who are the victims of Americanism. One of the 22 million black people who are the victims of democracy.
They came up with the plan to control and enslave man. Through revolution and war, man would be free no more. A secret society they made. If you would make that day, unaware and deadly crime, they don't down of mankind. They are hiding in plain sight, running the show without a fight. Modern day slavery got people working day and night. Almighty dollar in that sight. It's a further into life. If I work a little bit harder, one day I'll be okay. If that's all it, they tax our way, they tax the bed in which you lay, they tax our food, they tax our drink. They tax every time we speak. It's really about control, cause it's not worth a thing. Piece of paper, it's a beat, it sticks of hate, it's something free. Yeah.
This is American justice. This is American democracy. And those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. But if you can't prove that democracy is not hypocrisy, then you put your hands on me. Democracy is hypocrisy. Democracy means freedom. Where are our people free?
Talking about spitting truth. Tell me, young queen, ain't spitting some valid truth in those lyrics. Putting together a bit of documentary information to expand and open the minds. I love when our youth is making sure to keep us open-minded to what's going on, reality, the truth in the matters, things that are affecting us. We're going to play one more. This song is a little bit, and this song is by King of Parasel, Aladdin.
You know yourself, aka
Niggas can't rap, not even a little bit. Niggas don't trap, not even a little bit. Niggas say more than a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Some of the lines wasn't even feeling it. Wasn't really good. No, I can't rap even a little bit. Niggas can't rap, not even a little bit. Niggas don't trap, not even a little bit. Niggas say more than a little bit. Niggas not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Wasn't even doing it. Seen them offline. Wasn't really looking at it. No, I can't rock. Not even a little bit. Kaboom! Look who's in the room. Like Dr. Doom with the static flow. About to go off on you niggas cause y'all don't deliver the proper status quo. About being trappers or rappers that don't matter. I'ma kill it with a natural flow. I'm not your average Joe. Talk the cars are closed or I'm out here fucking all the baddest hoes. I feel the shit behind me like a ladder road. Now I'm on the road to show you nine ass niggas how to rap. Not about trap but to elevate to be great. And it's time to switch your rhymes up like an audible. So tired you niggas on like I don't know that you work at the grocery store and really don't got a chance to put that dough. I got a lot on my mind, don't got no time to hear y'all lines with fake shit. If you did that crime or did that time, bring clever lines that make sense. Some of y'all so basic, the auto-tune be having y'all doom and y'all think it's greenness, but really your flow is copy and paste it. Just popping pills and getting faded, shooting guns, this how we banging. Dogging bitches and thugging cases, that's the same shit everybody be saying. That's why the rap game tainted, not original when you create it. Y'all just wanna be what you see on TV, and it got me saying niggas can't rap, not even a little bit. Niggas don't trap, not even a little bit. Niggas say cap more than a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Some of the lines wasn't even doing it. Seen them offline, but they really looking at it. No, I can't rock, not even a little bit. Niggas can't rap, not even a little bit. Niggas don't trap, not even a little bit. Niggas say cap more than a little bit. Niggas not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Some of the lines wasn't even doing it. Seen them offline, wasn't really looking at it. No, I can't rock, not even a little bit. I don't be in the street making moves, but I got a few homies that really do. Line up myself, some I don't do. The street cause y'all tend to put the rules. Why line your rest? Well, you got to prove. Not being yourself is how you lose. I'm giving truth, then living proof that being yourself is really cool. But see, you gotta be G by yourself with nobody looking at you. Ain't gotta be a thug to get it out the mud to turn into something. So I think it's time for y'all to quit fronting with the hustling. Cause even mainstream niggas ain't real. It's about time y'all enhance y'all skills. About something that I can't feel. Gotta be from the heart and it gotta be real. That's for real. It's time to kill all mama rap cause I ain't feeling it. Whack ass lines ain't good for the spirit. I respect the ones that's living it, but not the ones that's pretending cause them niggas lame. Niggas can't rap not even a little bit. Niggas don't rap not even a little bit. Niggas say cap more than a little bit. Niggas not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Some lines wasn't even doing it. Seen them all. Wasn't really looking at it. No, I can't rap not even a little bit. Niggas can't rap not even a little bit. Niggas don't trap not even a little bit. Niggas say cap more than a little bit. Niggas not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Today we're going to talk about the
All right, guys. What I'm going to do now is play one more, and then we are going to get into the build. The build is going to be about infiltration on the genes of the Aboriginal and some that aren't even original. They've been infiltrated on, and they don't even know. They are not able to. Hold on a second, guys. All right, guys, appreciate your patience. Yeah, so what we're going to be doing is talking about a couple of things that are in relations to infiltration of our genes. Shout out to my chat over Sister Soul Main Radio on YouTube. Thanks for coming through, guys. Halito to the family. What's going on? Peace and love to everyone is showing through at this moment in time. Grandest. Yeah, this particular recording, I'm going to play another song, guys, and we're going to get into build. Let's get it hyped right quick.
Enemy of my job, I optimize, so what's happening? So it's government and all y'all cross the line, so what's happening? All my ancestors wouldn't like you cross the lines, so what's happening? We original, y'all GM on y'all line. I do this for I need you. 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 I do this for I need you. I need you. I need you. I need you. Should have left me where I was, cause I ain't never scared.
I ain't never scared.
Off my neck for this girl here.
What?
My nation, my need you, someone thorough said. Real Americans, still pure blood, we thoroughbred. I'm like, let my people go and just take me instead.
What?
When it's red or blue pill, I'm only choosing red.
Red.
I always choose my people, you can keep that bread. I'm government or a drill, you can keep that bread. It's money and Jim Crow is showing me I don't want no white folks ruling over me. I don't want no politicians ruling over me.
We gonna do it.
I don't know how that happened. Y'all got to excuse that. I am actually browsing through and misplayed a track, which doesn't usually happen to me. Y'all know I don't do this, so y'all have to excuse me. I don't know if this was meant to play, but I'm going to let it play, and then I'm going to get back to the next one, guys. It just popped up. I can't help it. I guess we don't see what it do. Hey.
What's your name? What's your sign? I'm just trying to make it mine. Chocolate girl, you know you fine. Do I ever cross your mind? Get it wet, make it rain. My weather girl, I'm just looking for white. Would you be my feather girl? What's your sign? I'm just trying to make you mine. Chocolate girl, you know you fine. Do I ever cross your mind? Get it wet, make it rain. Be my weather girl, I'm just looking for white. Would you be my feather girl? Yeah, you bad, yeah, you fine. I'm just trying to make you mine. You ain't worried about these pennies, girl, but you know you're a dime. And I knew that I would have you. I just had to wait my time. Had to know you past looks. Cause you know that love is blind. Met you at the powwow, asked you what's your tribe. You asked me, mom, we talk and give me quarter vibe. So you rocking your feathers, you can say you caught my eye. From that moment, girl, I knew that I could finally make you ride. Girl, you the truth, shorty, what you wanna do? Come and be a winner, you know I can never lose. Wanna be a man now, tell me what I gotta prove. You the realest, so that's why nigga really fuck with you. What's your name? What's your sign? I'm just trying to make you mine. Chocolate girl, you know you fine. Do I ever crush your mind? Get it wet, make it rain. My weather girl, I'm just looking for a white. You be my feather girl.
Hey.
Your sign? I'm just trying to make you mine. Chocolate girl, you know you fine. Do I ever cross your mind? Get it wet, make it rain. My weather girl, I'm just looking for a white. My feather girl. Damn girl, you do that thing damn well. I know you indigenous with your tribe, I can't tell.
What?
Are you Choctaw, Chickasaw, Cherokee, no interracial girl? I only fuck with chicks that look like me. I like a long hair, melanated vibe with no guidance. She can be your God. Let me show you how to live. It's not enough to just survive. But maybe have a couple kids if I end up between your thighs. For real. Intellectual convos about a book or something. That smoke emoji like you giving me that look or something. You keep it real like you carrying a hook or something. So if you want it, you got it. Ain't gotta look for nothing. What's your name? What's your sign? I'm just trying to make you mine. Chocolate girl, you know you fine. Do I ever cross your mind? Get it wet, make it rain. Be my weather girl, I'm just looking for a white. Would you be my feather girl? What's your name? What's your sign? I'm just trying to make you mine. Chocolate girl, you know you fine. Do I ever cross your mind? Get it wet, make it rain. Be my weather girl, I'm just looking for a white. Won't you be my feather girl?
Man, that jam came through, didn't it? It really came through like, I want to play right now. Cut your girl song off, was about to play the boy, and then here came that next jam. But we about to get into one more. The one I wanted to play. And this is the last jam. We're going to get to our bill, guys. We're going to get going and make sure that you guys are getting an understanding of it. Information that I am continuing to bring to you that, opens portals in the mind. So let's get ready.
Yeah. So what's happening? So it's government and all across the line. So what's happening?
What's happening?
Like you crossed the line. So what's happening? We original, y'all GMO, y'all lying. I do this for my niche, my niche.
They lying.
Oh yeah, I need you, I need you. I do this for my niche, my niche, my niche, my niche, my niche. I need you. I do this for my niche. Should've left me where I was. I ain't never scared. Took that little ice off my neck for this girl here. My nation, my niche, someone girl said. Real Americans, still pure blood, we thoroughbred. I'm like, let my people go and just take me instead. When it's red or blue pill, I'm only choosing red. I'ma always choose my people, you can keep that bread. Our government or a trail, you can keep that bread. It's one thing Jim Crow is showing me. I don't want no white folks ruling over me. I don't want no politicians ruling over me. I don't want no pole and no me. Only somebody just like me gon' treat me like me. I'm iron white. Keep me keeping Dr. GLE. I'm feeling G like EST. Mind that bitch just me. Think you free, but you need remedy. The bitch freeze me. From the hood, I'm still waking up my people. They got us good, they still hating on my people. When it comes to fashion, the whole world wanna be like us. When it comes to music, the whole world wanna be like us. When it comes to dancing, the whole world wanna be like us. Wanna doing everything, trying to weaken us. Of course, y'all can fuck with us. Really know we killing y'all. Anything involve a ball. Mentally, we figured out the cosmos. After all this shit, we smashing y'all. It's time to take the task and y'all white spot, but after all, Vatican and the Smithsonian got all our shit.
Got all our shit.
Really still keeping us away from it.
They released that shit January. Give it up, bitch. Give it up. We got all our shit back from the Vatican. 12 miles of articles, artifacts, and documents.
I ain't go see the new Matrix because I'm living it. Everything is not what it seems, but I'm killing it.
I'm killing it.
You afford to pay attention who you living with. Now they trying to mandatory facts for these you getting it.
Is you getting it?
I'll fall back off my Nietzsche. I'm peeping y'all tactics. This ain't no Earth war. This is galactic.
It's galactic.
Goddess is in God's warming up like practice. We don't put arrows on your chest like that.
What?
Can't style like us, them fake niggas.
Aye.
Got a soul, destiny. As a child like us, nobody power like us, nobody peace, popular like us. Boxing, y'all can't fight like us. Nobody lost they right like us.
What?
Say too much, I'm in the way. They trying to kill us anyway. So listen what I'm finna say.
What he saying?
Everybody, I kiss, we raised y'all anyway. Since he's finna say, everybody ain't here to stop.
What?
This ain't no in between. I'm a non-ether being, not a human being.
Ain't no playing with this shit.
All my allies, what to do? Renegade got but they're careful. I advise you to. Give me my job. I'm a mind, so what's happening?
What's happening?
Cross the line, so what's happening?
He said, what's happening?
You cross the line, so what's happening?
You cross the line.
I do this.
Manisha. I do this for Manisha. Manisha. I do it for Manisha. Hey. Play with it. Brother, bringing the heat. Check this out. The brother said feedback. Now, you know when you came over here, there was going to be a little bit of feedback, bro. Don't play with me. Don't point it out when we already know what's going on. You know what it is with this Wi-Fi on my computer right now, so it might not be getting the best adjustment. So if you guys still hearing a little bit of a feedback right now, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me clearly because I want to make sure this information is loud and clear. 1 in the chat if you cannot hear me well. If everything is clear, I don't need any response. Let me give you guys a second. All right. I got some craziness to bring to y'all. Y'all know I'm always talking about the grid lines and the frequency and your aura and your spirit and the waters of life and all of these different things. You take a let me see. Mike, this is like annoying. I don't pay too much money for this though. This is like crazy. Yeah, bro, let me drop the link real quick so I can definitely get you guys to vibe on this information I'm about to bring because I'm gonna bring some stuff to the table that may not have crossed you guys' mind or so on and so forth. And I definitely want you to be able to go over this information with me because it is going to be a little. I'm going to play something for you, right? And I want you guys to listen to these words. I know we're having a little bit of feedback, but it's very important that you listen up close, right? Because I can only play a little bit at a time, and I don't want to get a strike on this platform. So I want you to listen to these words, and then we'll go over them. I'm going to play a little bit of this. Get you into the mind state of what I am about to talk to and actually possibly bring to your mind some other thoughts. So let's get it. Let me turn it down a little bit. Hopefully the feedback will make it okay so that I don't get a strike. Check it out.
Hey, Harry.
Peace, brother.
Peace to you too.
Give me a second. I'm gonna stop right there. We about to get into it. What's going on, brother? So much for joining me. And who is this? If you don't mind me asking, I'm not very familiar with your name
Yeah,
nor advertiser.
I guess I'm new here. I just searched for open panels and stuff. But you're kind of a bit roboting right now.
Really,
Yes.
really, really. I may need to switch over to my phone, guys. Give me just a moment. Let me see. Is it still very bad, or is this okay now? Or
It's just
oh, I believe you. I have issues
I
consistently,
don't know
brother.
how to
So
describe it. I'm sorry.
not a problem. First off, sir, I don't know who you are, or you've never been on my platform. So
No,
while I'm switching,
I'm absolutely new here, right? I just dropped in. I'm just
okay.
an inebriated German guy. Okay, I'm just some random guy basically.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to be doing, sir, is get into a couple of subjects. If you want to join
Sure.
in on that, you can definitely do that. I see it, brother. I'm about to. Everybody's letting me know it's on the horrible. Pardon me, I'm not doing too great. My sinuses, I got issues going on.
Oh wow.
Oh, excuse me. Give me a moment, and I'll be right with you, sir.
I hope you'll feel better soon. I'm sorry
All
about
right, all
that.
right. Is this better? Is this better, guys?
And
Can y'all hear
I'm
me a little bit better? I had to go on my
yeah.
phone. I
It's
wanted to show y'all some documents. So I was actually on the computer, but I guess
yes.
that wasn't a very good idea.
The popping stopped immediately. It's now it's 100% fine,
Yes,
right?
I'm off the computer.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you're I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I have had
oh,
that same issue last week, right? I've had headaches and coughs and stuff. So I wish you the very best in your recovery and stuff. If you're not feeling well.
yes, thank you, thank you. So I'm about to get into my build. What we're going to be talking about now. If you guys heard that, what I just played, I'll read you. Let me go to the lyrics, particularly, and I'll read you a little bit of what I'm getting into here. Let's start here firstly with the name. If you guys remember, the show Different Strokes with Gary Coleman and Willis, what was his name? Todd Bridges. If you guys remember that show, we're gonna get into that because it breaks down some really crazy things, right? When we're thinking about that, I'm always looking at things in a digital format, anything that might break or mess with binary frequency. That come up, bro. I would like for you to come up actually with me to talk about this because this is about to be a little crazy conversation. So somebody that I
Sure.
know understands the light and the things that I talk about as well may be able to join in on this after I go over a little bit of this information, or anyone else that may be intrigued. So check this out. Let's start here. We're going to start with the name, right? If you guys remember the name, it was Different Strokes. It wasn't Different Strokes. Different is Different, obviously. Different Strokes, this show was Diff apostrophe Rent strokes. Do you guys recall that? I don't know if anybody recalls that, but that was the particular spelling. When looking at that, what I found and what I noticed is that the words themselves mean something. We're going to get into that. When we look at diff, the abbreviation DIFF, it is actually a program. It's a program that compares files in order to determine how or whether they differ. The drawback to this is that the diff does not indicate metadata changes. Did you guys hear that? Metadata, meta. I know that sounded familiar. Meta world, metadata. Yeah, okay. I don't have to elaborate more. You guys hopefully are following me, right? So when we're looking at that, it's the drawback to this is that the diff does not indicate that, but it says that it is a program that actually compares the files in order to determine how or whether they differ. Different means actually getting that information together, seeing what the difference is, so on and so forth, blah, 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 right? And when we're looking at rent, the etymology of rent, that is the payment of something, compensation that's made periodically, so on and so forth. It came into English earlier in more general
it's rent free in a test from the 1630s. Rent is to think of how much of evil there is in the two sense of that four-lettered word, in the two methods of intonation and its synonym. Tear, rent in the second sense. Torn place. Renting is a torn place, openly made by renting or tearing. 1560s noun used in the Middle English was the renter to tear rend, a variant of render. Okay, pay attention, guys. I'm not going to go over this a lot, but I just hope you guys are going to follow me on this, right? When we're looking at strokes, strokes is an act of hitting and or striking someone or something. A blow, as in someone received a blow or you struck someone. Putting action to that, putting a placement on that to make the action, so on and so forth, right? So we have come to the understanding that different strokes was actually describing or a description of a particular action that was going on. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So when it comes to the lyrics of that song that you guys heard, right? Now, it said, now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. Drum, when you think about drum, that's a particular order that you guys are familiar with. When we're thinking about a Luciferian order that is referred to when you're thinking about that, we're talking about it, when that comes up, that drum is in the reference, right? It says, what might be right for you may not be right for some. And then it says, a man is born. It says, he's a man of means. They're talking about Mr. Drummond, right? Remember Mr. Drummond, the person that they were living with, the guy, the high rise, they changed over to this whole new lifestyle, so on and so forth. A man is born, he's a man of means, that's Mr. Drummond. Then along came two. Who are the two? The two are let's see. The two are, I keep forgetting this guy's name, Todd. Todd Bridges and Gary Coleman. So they came along. Here comes Willis and Arnold, and they are coming into the family, so on and so forth. They got nothing but their genes. Check this out. Check this out. You know, there's hidden meanings and things. If you're following me, you're going to have to really pay attention. It says, then along came two. They got nothing but their genes. They got nothing but their genes. What are they bringing to this high rise? What are they bringing to this order, this drum of this beat in this drum that they're moving to, the Luciferian order that they're moving to and adjusting to? They're going to move in with a man of means. These two are coming, and the genes, which is they have nothing but their genes. The only thing they have to offer or to bring this man of such significant wealth would be their genes, right? All right, let's finish reading that. They got nothing but their genes. Then it says, but they got different strokes. They have nothing but their genes, but they got different strokes. Now, that's kind of an oxymoron in itself. It says they got nothing but their genes. If they have nothing but their genes, that would mean a particular article or something of nature. When you hear that, you're thinking, oh, they're talking about blue jeans, right? That, you know, that's what I always thought it was talking about. But when you really have a deeper understanding and looking at things, you can get a deeper meaning as to what it's actually saying, right? So it says a man is born, he's a man of means. That's the money. That's the, you know, the current of the situation, right? Then the two come with their genes. The genes are manipulation and changes to rule the world, is what it sounds like, right? And it says, but they got different strokes. So with their different strokes, with the changes to move the world, it says the different stroke. That's the computing, right? That's a program that's comparing the files in order to determine how or whether they differ. Are you guys catching this, following with this? I wish somebody was up here that could elaborate on some of this with me. Brother, I know you said you're a little inebriated. Do you have any insight
Well,
into what? Can you follow? Are you following me a little bit?
I'm trying to follow, and honestly, it does make sense, right? It's well, yeah, it
It's a
makes sense
strange
what
sense,
you're
right?
saying.
It's
Yeah,
making a sense that's
it
like
it
that
is
don't make
weird.
sense
Yeah.
to me.
All right, all right. I'm glad. I'm glad. Just want the little feedback on that to make sure I'm at least being followed because I want you guys to get this right because this is very intriguing so far, right? So when it comes to it, it says, let's get back to it. So it says the different strokes. So now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. The money won't move it. The current of what's going on with Lucifer, that drum, that beat of the drum that it's saying it's moving. It can't move it just that one drum. That Lucifer cannot move the entire world, that one drum. So when we think of Lucifer or an order, we're thinking about a particular order. This isn't necessarily the deity, the devil, this thing that you guys hear about. We're not really talking about that per se. We're actually talking about a particular action that's going on in the particular world, right? So now when we're thinking about that current, which is the representation of Mr. Drummond, and then we go into the genes, which comes in those two genes, those two boys, the genes, and the manipulation of that is saying it right there. It doesn't move to that. And then it says that it was an action of hitting or striking someone or a blow. That's the stroke. And that stroke would be the program that compares these particular files in order to determine how or whether they different. They differ by current, the current being the cash, the person that has that money, right? And then we're thinking about the genes because they're bringing the genes into prevalence, and that is actually what's more valuable than any particular type of cash or current, right? So keystrokes are to rule change in document and DNA structure to transhumanism. Are you guys following? Oh, somebody's trying to get up. Sorry, bro. All right. I knew I was gonna be able to get you in when I started talking about some stuff. How you doing, brother? What's going on with you?
I'm doing great today. That is a great observation. That's a
Big,
great observation, and especially the
Okay, I was gonna
sitcom.
go ahead,
Can you
big,
brother.
hear?
big up, big up.
Oh, can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Go right ahead, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was saying that's a great observation. On that. Most people don't look off into that. They take Hollywood as a joke in terms of um getting people to do, you know, and getting a certain people to go a certain way. People underestimate what Hollywood is, and that is a great observation. A great observation. Especially them sitcoms in the '80s, late '70s, from Happy Days to Laverne and Shirley to Archie Bunker to George Jefferson, and that, and also Facts of Life.
Yeah,
You got to, yeah, those two are connected because Mrs. Garrett was a maid in both of those.
right.
So yeah, all that ties in because in Facts of Life, I think two of them was homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the Rainbow Coalition in
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm-mm.
long before anybody ever knew about what they rights are today.
Yes. So it was
So,
the subliminal of these
oh,
things
for
that were coming
sure.
Oh
in. And
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah.
ushering. This about to be a good one, boy. I said, man, I need a couple of people up here to dive into this deep with me because I'm about to go ham. You hear me? What's going on? How you doing, Spirit brother? Thanks so much for joining us, bro. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, just listening in, enjoying the
Appreciate it.
show.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, great, great, great. So let's get to it. Let's finish talking about it then. Then, if you guys want to elaborate, just stop me and jump right in. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go on to this. Finish up. Okay, so what I was talking about, let's get back to this one when it goes to different strokes again in the song. And it's saying, or talking about the keystrokes to rule, to change not only in DNA structure and in documents, but also in transhumanism. Hmm, that's what we're going on, what's going on right now. And as the brother said, these particular sitcoms all played a part in ushering these things in subliminally, even though we may not have known them. And I'm going to show you as we get a little bit more into that.
True.
So it says it takes different strokes again marking of the genes in the DNA. It takes different strokes to rule the world. Again, it's continuously saying that the different strokes to rule the world. Now, why would it say that it takes different strokes to rule the world? So it takes a program that compares files in order to determine how to or whether to differ, right? In that action. And that's exactly what the definition is. So that's what they're saying. So it's telling us it takes different strokes to move the world. That's talking about the DNA changes in the body. Everybody's got a special kind of story. Hold on, somebody else joining us. Thanks for joining us, brother. Let me finish this up real quick. It says everybody's got a special kind of story. And then it says, with that, what I take the interpretation is God genes need living current to help man rule the world. This is what they're implying. This is what their inclination is when it's saying the different strokes to move the world. When we're talking about Mr. Drummond, the man of means, and we're talking about what came into his life, which was those two boys. Did you guys want to elaborate on any of that before I continue? I'm having a little bit of
Well,
a
you're really doing well.
okay. Yeah, go
Elaborating
right
on all
ahead.
this. This is honestly, it's such a information density that my brain is fully occupied keeping up. It's very good, very good, very good.
All right, great. So we'll just continue on and let's get through the rest of the song and then I'll elaborate a little bit more, guys, because this is going to be a
And
good
the
one.
world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What may not be right for you may not.
Okay, I don't know who that weirdo was.
As a
Um,
troll,
let's
probably.
just stop that now. Okay, so so here it says, okay. Where was I at? Okay, so we were talking about the last one of the different strokes to move the world. We know they're talking about moving the world, making those changes with computer alterations and the DNA structure, transhumanism, transgendering, all of these different things is what it's talking about. These are the different strokes to move the world that they're talking about, DNA changes in the body, right? Everybody got a different kind of story. So that's the genes, as I said, the man ruling the world. That kind of fits into all that. And then it says everybody finds a way to shine. Of course, everyone finds a way to shine. If they are altered, they're going to be able to shine because they are different in this world. They're a particular light, a light that is an artificial light, a GMO light, not a starlight being, right? So that would separate us, but there are different lights, right? The rest of the song says, not a lot. So what? They'll have theirs and you'll have yours and I'll have mine. And it says, and together we'll be fine. They'll have theirs, you'll have yours, and I'll have mine. We'll all bring this together. This money, this current, your genes, taking over this, and all of this will help us to rule the world. This was thrown in our face, guys. This shit is crazy, right? Let me get on to the rest of this. And then it says, this is moving. This is what I said. Moving into the transhumanism. Yes,
Right.
it does, because I kind of rolled in between here. So that is the end of the song. No, it's not. I have a couple more things down here. So yeah, the last line is again, it takes different strokes to move the world. So with that, we're thinking about Muhammad Ali had something to do with that. He's supposed to have said that he had something to do with the affiliation of that. And then when I think about that, he floated like a butterfly. He stung like a bee. This was his thing. He went into the Muslim era. This was another thing. I'm just directing these things to you guys. These are just thoughts. You know, I'm waiting on elaboration on some of this. I'm gonna put a few things out there and see what you guys are thinking. These are just a few things I put together. We're thinking about Todd Bridges. Todd Bridges was 14 years old in that Roots movie. Do y'all remember he played in the Roots movie? A lot of people may not remember that. He was
No,
around
I remember that. I
7.
remember.
You remember that? He was about
Oh
what,
yeah.
7 or 8 died that? You remember, bro? I don't
Yeah.
remember. He was about at least 7 or 8, right? He
Yeah,
was
he was a
young.
young boy. Hmm.
Okay. So now at 14 is when he went into this TV show. Mind you, he had the Roots role. He didn't have a lot of roles. So he wasn't anybody that was like a fantastic big star. Gary Coleman wasn't like a fantastic big star. He had a couple of little scenes in a couple of movies, not movies, I'm sorry, a couple of commercials. And, that was pretty much it. So what made
Hmm.
these two children be such great stars that they picked for this particular show, right? Let's talk about that a little bit more. So Dana Plato. He was something. He
Oh,
had something to do with the Masonic play. Avia show, something with some type of show. I just looked up some stuff. I'm not very familiar with him. If any of this is ringing to fruition for anyone, just kind of talk to me about it because you'll help me out. I'm just thinking of stuff. I was looking up stuff, checking into stuff, not very familiar with him, and that was something that came up. I'm not even familiar with what that means even. So I just wrote it down and I said I'll bring it to the platform. Gary Coleman, he was actually
Sister Soul, you cut out on that last part.
Oh, sorry about that, brother. I say, yeah, a lot of these things, right? I'm bringing, brother, it's like information I pulled up, and I'm linking things. Things are kind of coinciding. They're looking weird. So I want insight into this stuff. I have my own theory. You already know, bro.
Well,
So,
when you look at the sitcom and
uh-huh.
how it was based, they was in New York. The kids were from Harlem, right? And
Hmm.
I don't know at that time what Harlem was, because I know back in the 50s, 40s, Harlem was a beacon. A lot of people came and played in Harlem, during that Renaissance and that whole entire Italian thing and them taking over the numbers, blah blah blah. But these was two kids from Harlem. Um, they had mutual bully Gooch, right?
Hmm.
Um, I remember the daughter there.
Dana.
I remember, yeah, I remember later
Hmm.
on in um, Different Strokes, they brung a little white boy, blonde hair, little white boy that was supposed to be the super adorable white kid.
Mm.
Because even at that time in Hollywood, now this is actual application now. In
Hmm.
Hollywood, they need to control it. What's his name was becoming a button in terms of cuteness and all that, and that was Arnold. He was becoming the face of what cuteness was supposed to be.
And check this out, brother. Let me say this real quick. Since you said the cuteness thing, I gotta bring some more stuff to the forefront while we're discussing this, and I want you to keep elaborating. Keep in mind, guys, right now we just went through all these things, the tribunals, all these pedophiles, like everybody that's been
Yeah.
exposed with all this sexual behavior, so on and so forth.
Hmm.
Keeping in mind during this time, none of these things were brought forth. Nothing was heard about with these child stars. You never heard about pedophilia. You never heard about any of these things,
Right.
right? None of this came
Right.
forward, right? Keep that in mind. Go ahead, brother. I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah. Not. Yeah. Hey, Sister Soul, you hit a nail on the head, right? Because even today, right? Um, I'm finna throw some names out there. Hope you don't get no strikes, but the fake
Oh,
bullshit
wow.
that
Be
Yeah.
careful. Be careful.
I am, but that fake school that was in Africa, that we know who built that and who was behind that, and then all these other fake adoptions that goes on, right? They adopt these cute kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? And same thing that Papanopoulos did with Webster, but we ain't talking about that sitcom. We talking
Yes.
about Different Strokes. But the same idea is there. Adopt you a cute black kid and watch your world change. And watch your world change. And Mr. Drummond, to say the least, uh, uh, being who he is, I think, my honest opinion, I think in that song and in that sitcom, he was bored, stiff, couldn't activate himself. He was stiff, no lifeless until he got these two babies in
Say
there.
that part.
Even though he had his daughter, it was something that his daughter did not bring him that these two black boys was able to bring.
Brother,
And
I
like
gotta
you
say it.
said, only
Check
only
this.
thing
Hold
they
on. Hold on, Didac. See, that's
Mhm.
what I got to touch on right there. See, this is exactly. I knew y'all was gonna be with me. I'm sorry. I'm excited because see, I know this is just so crazy. When you just said that, thinking about that, right? What does it say? Hold on, I gotta go back up here in my notes. It says different strokes is the diff is the program that compares files in order to determine how or damn it. That shit. This is some technical. This shit just literally went off by itself. This is my other phone I had playing on the Bluetooth. As I said it, the shit started playing. Okay. Man, I ain't even get into that crazy shit. As soon as I said they ooh, okay, anyway, it says a program that compares file in order to determine how or whether they differ. And it says with the rip part, right? That's the diff, right? So the rip, torn place, opening made by rending or tearing. So it was something that was torn in him. Like you said, he wasn't fulfilled. He didn't have what he needed because he had current, he had all that money, he was rich and everything, right? He still wasn't fulfilled. When these two boys came in there, those two genes, man,
Oh man.
when they came into the scene, man, it came into a whole new world. You hear me? That brought
Right.
a whole new world. And
Exactly.
thinking about that, right? I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I want you to go ahead and elaborate on that because I got my notes written down. I'll remember. Go ahead.
Oh no, you hitting the nail on the head because this is where we prepare today. You know what I mean? Um, what was that? I'm trying to life. I'm getting to that lyric. Longest come true. Oh, there. Longest got nothing but his jeans. Right? They only came supposedly with the clothes on their back. That's it. They didn't have no. Did they have a book bag? I think they had a book
Listen,
bag or a
I
case, a
know, bro.
suitcase.
I
They
don't
came up
even
the
think that.
elevator.
Oh, you're right. You're right. He did. Gary
So
Coleman had one. I don't even think Willis had one, but I think Gary Coleman had one.
right. So they didn't come with absolutely nothing but what they jeans were. So what are they jeans? We all know the God gene. We all know that.
Yes.
And with that being said, uh, now Mr. Drummond has purpose. Now
Yes.
he has purpose to live, I guess, to so-called give and be caring, because you know they'll write that in the diaspora of the sitcom. You know, because he always gave back. That's what they always written in that.
Yeah.
But that was the smoke screen because it's the saying like if you look fair seeming, you are going to be fair seeming, especially those who do not know. And right now, this is all total exposure because it's being exposed in terms of what is trafficking, human trafficking,
Yes. Yes.
the pedophile, all that behavior was predicated already. But
Yes.
it looked at very fair seeming
Mm.
because Mr. Drummond was doing good things. Mr. Papadopoulos, he was doing good things. You know what I mean? Who else? Uh, uh, uh,
Let's talk about a few more of these things. I'm gonna give y'all some more to think about. Check this out. Look at this. Think about that. Now we went over, so we already know about this pedophilia portion of this, right? So let's kind of elaborate on that a little bit.
mhm.
What else did I want? Let's talk about this. Gary Coleman, right? Think about him in the show, right? Every time you
Oh
saw him,
wow.
right?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, he was 10 years old. And as he went on in the show, he was like 13 or 14, 15. He was maybe 15 years old by the time of that last season, right? Now,
Mhm.
do you recall how they treated him like a pet? He was petted, picked up like a little baby, patted around.
Mhm.
They used to pat him on the
Mm,
butt.
sure. Yeah.
Y'all
Pinch
remember
his
that?
cheeks.
Mm.
Pinching his cheeks and who you and he used to be like, oh, and that patting on the butt thing was a lot. I know parents like, hey, they'll tap you on the back, but he patted him on the butt a lot. Now, this puts us here. We go again. Let me disconnect this Bluetooth because this thing acting stupid. It's acting real crazy. It's just like really playing with me right now. We ain't finna do this, computer. So So with that, right, him being pat on the butt, all these different things, it makes you think about Horace. Remember the story of Horace with no father, no mother. Think about Willis and the boy. Now think about it. They came into this household. Why? Now, remember what happened. They came because supposedly their mother worked for Mr. Drummond. Remember? The mom
Mm-hmm.
worked for Mr. Drummond, and that's how the lady, the one you just talking about from the other show, what's her name, Miss Garrett, came in because the mom had passed, and here he took over the kids because here this nice rich man's taking these two little white kids out the
Mm-hmm.
ghetto because he's been their mom's been cleaning and taking care of his house, and he just had so he used to say how much he loved her, and he just loved their mama, and she was just the best, and he just loved her. Sound like he was doing a lot with the mom, a little bit more than her tending to the home, right? If she
Mm-hmm.
was just tending to the home, why would he have so much love for this woman and so much charity? These people don't have charity like that in general. Some do. Some are very kind because they feel a certain sense of guilt, I believe. But why would he have so much charity in his heart for these two boys to take in? These two, one teenager, which is a hard age to deal with a young man, period. He's of a different race, and his little brother because of all this love he had for the mom. So, what do you think about that? Before I go
Uh,
on, because I have a lot more, but
uh,
before I go on, what do you think about that particular part?
the one thing that they have, and I'm talking about pedophiles.
Hmm.
They, some of them, I'm gonna say some of them, not all of them. Some of them have the patience. They have patience. The ones that are advanced pedophiles, they have the patience. They'll watch the child grow.
Hmm.
They'll watch it grow, and then when that pedophile feel like it's time to act on that child, it will. Just like how it was written in a sitcom, he was patient and he
Yep.
waited. And once she died, now I have can have my way with this. Because
Hmm.
before, even if I was sneaking, that's what exactly what it was. I was sneaking.
Hmm.
Now I can be all out with it in terms of that. But you know how they say keep it in the closet type of thing.
Hmm.
Because if anybody know, Arnold confide in an imaginary friend. That's a traumatized boy. When
Hmm.
he confined in Abraham, which was that black goldfish. And if you listen to the conversations between him and the goldfish, they traumatic. Everything is traumatic.
Now let's think about when you remember, think about it too. Remember when they came in, Arnold was so happy. He's like, oh, we in the money now. We rich. We in the high rise. He was so excited. He's a baby. He's a kid, at the time, supposedly. He was supposedly,
Mhm.
I think, 7 or 8 at the time, playing his role. So he come in, he looking like, shoot, we ain't pulling no more. We out the hood. He excited. But what if you recall what was going on with Willis? He was
Willis
militant.
knew better.
Willis
Willis
was
knew.
militant, though. Hear what I'm saying, brother. Willis was militant. He wasn't playing none of that. He was going off on his brother, like, listen, you too happy about this. You too accepted. You just moving too good with this. I ain't with it. He went against it for the whole season, remember? It took a whole season for him to finally go give in to Mr. Drummond.
Yep.
Let's get to that scene when he gave in. Do you remember that scene? What was going on? Anybody remember that scene before I say it?
I don't remember the scene
Okay.
verbatim, but go ahead.
Yes. So in this scene where Willis decides that he's going to go ahead and accept this and he'll just be humbly acceptance to everything. He was sitting in that whirlpool in the bathtub. Y'all don't remember? He was sitting in the whirlpool pool and Mr. Drummond came in there and he was talking to him and he was like, oh yes, I I accept everything now and I'm pleased with it. And y'all
You
don't
know
remember
what? I remember that one. I remember that. I remember that fucking
And then,
episode.
do you remember? Here comes, soon as he heard it, here come Gary Coleman in these dingy ass drawers. I don't know if y'all remember, they always kept them boys in
Oh
some
yeah, they
underwear.
always could. Yes,
They
yes, they
stay.
always kept them in underwear.
So here come Gary Coleman. Here he come. He come. Woo! He like, yes, brothers all in. Now it's the acceptance. So now everything it's a party. Now he came running in there in them dingy ass drawers, jumped his little behind in that whirlpool. Mr. Drummond came and in between the two of them, he hugging them, and they kissing him. And y'all don't remember that scene?
I remember that scene. I now, as you describe it, I remember it now, clear
That
as day.
that was crazy, right?
The great white hope, the savior, huh? The savior scene. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Peace,
Peace,
y'all. Let's
peace,
get
Papa.
it.
Welcome to the platform, brother. What's going on with you? I can hear you. Try to adjust your mic a little bit, bro. You kind of muffled.
Yeah, I'm in this damn car. Hey,
Okay.
I
I
shut
can
up.
hear you a
No,
little better.
yeah, the the Great White Hope scene, though. All right, let's get it.
That's right. He's telling the story, right?
Yeah, that's the story. They try to make Mr. Drummond look fair seeming, like he's saving these black kids, but what he's really doing is fucking on them little boys
Mm-hmm.
and making it look all right in terms of the eyes of those who don't know better.
Mm-hmm. Putting it in our face,
Yeah,
showing us.
so now here we are in 2021. It almost looked at fair seeming for the Jolie family. Did I say my fault?
Oh,
Whoa,
Lord.
no. All right. A Vic, huh? Adopt a Vic. Yes, that was the first stomping grounds, huh? Yeah. The fucking running test. So Mrs. and Mrs. Smith, no, not you, the entanglement Smith, but the other Smiths. Yes, you could go do some dirty, devious things. Go save them all around the world, especially in Africa. Let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So check this out on what you said, bro. So now everybody, we didn't know what was going on, right? Because there was mad stuff going on behind the scenes. So it shows that this white man brings them up, yet in real life, he was actually bringing them down because why? What was going on? Y'all remember Willie came out with a book. Ty Bridges came out with a book exposing a lot of that information, but it was put to the side. Remember? Let's get into
Oh
that
yeah.
real quick. He was being drugged all this time when these kids were going through these things and they were showing us all this stuff in our face. They were being drugged while they were filming because they had them working so many hours. They were giving these
Oh
kids
hell
drugs.
yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. Cocaine.
Mhm.
Cocaine was the number one drug. That keeps them going. Him and that
They
white
all
girl developed.
three. No, sorry. They all was on drugs real bad, and I'll shut up. Only one of them alive now, right? Willis, right? The last one standing. Let's get it.
Yep.
That's right. So
Ty Bridges.
when we think about that, right? So they was all being drugged and stuff, right? So now let's fast forward to season 3. In season 3, let's think about these number things, right? Now, if y'all recall in season 3, or if y'all might not, but I'm gonna bring it to your attention, they started wearing these shirts with numbers on them. If y'all can think back, y'all can remember every time you turn around, they had a jersey shirt, some type of shirt with a number on it. All these numbers seem to all add up to either 8, 12, or 32 for some weird apparent reason. Do y'all recall seeing them the season when they started wearing the jersey shirts and all these numbers on their shirts? It was a red
Yeah,
shirt.
I remember them wearing baseball jerseys, but I never paid attention to the numbers.
Hmm. So with these jerseys, they was wearing these jerseys all through that whole season, which symbolizes something. I'm not really good with numerology and all that stuff and that Mason stuff, but I know it has something to do with that because it was a symbolization of something because it brought in certain information with all this other stuff that we're talking about. So that's let's just say that. If
Oh, for
somebody else has
sure.
anything to add to that, y'all put it in the chat so y'all can put us on. But I'm bringing everything that I've noted and can think of, and that's why I'm discussing it. So
Yeah,
in time, go ahead.
yeah, that's for sure. The back end on that is that's crazy that you rung this up because Mrs. Garrett, I think Mrs. Garrett was a dyke now.
Hmm. The
Yes,
dorm
yes,
girl.
she was fucking them
Hmm.
little girls.
Hmm.
Wow.
Bunch of weird shit was going on, bro, and they was putting it in our face. Now in season 1, back to season 1. Now before
Mm.
they started, let's talk about what happened now with Ty Bridges when he went for the casting. This is what he exposed in the book. So I'm gonna take y'all back a little bit again. When he went for the casting, like I said, he hadn't had too many roles. This was a big film, this, and that. He had been on, if you guys can remember, who remembers Maud?
Oh, then there's Mud. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't
Yep.
sing that. But
Y'all remember that. So with Maud, right?
yeah.
Todd Bridges, if y'all can remember, or you may not remember, he played a little orphan boy on her show. When he played the little orphan boy on the show, he actually left the show. It was I think it was her husband, the dude Abe or something. I can't remember his name. He wasn't Lamar. Damn, what was that show? Not MASH. Abe, the guy Abe from MASH, from the show MASH.
Okay.
He had a TV show. They temporarily it was called Fish. Do y'all remember Fish? It only did 1 or 2
Yes.
seasons.
Yep, I remember that.
Okay, Ty Bridges, he played the little orphan boy on there. Now, when you think about it, this is how he got into getting this role because he got into this particular what do you call it? The people that promote them, his manager or whatever you call it.
Agents, they call them agents.
Thank you, brother. His talent agent, right? So the talent agent is the one that's putting them in, right? So now when they took him for this role, what he exposed in that book was that after that, because he wasn't really that big, but he had a little thing, he had the little thing on Roots. He was in he was in there on the little show for Fish as a little orphan boy, this and that. When we thinking about that, it trips me out too because it makes you think it's showing you like these misplaced little boys. These is the role that he was playing. When he was on the Fish thing, he was playing a little orphan boy, right? And then when he came to Mr. Drummond's, even though Mr. Drummond took him in, they was orphans, right? Okay. And with that movie, with tying it in, it's all see they have to tie the shit in, it seems like, because when you think about it, when you think about the movie Fish, the guy Abe, who also was I think he was Maud's husband or something on the show. And when we think about Maud, I mean, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but we could say she may have been a transsexual or a transgender. Would anybody agree with that? I'm not listen. No strikes her name. I used to love Maud. I used to watch that show. We loved all them little shows when we was young because that was what was on. But I mean, I'm not being funny. But tell me if you don't think she could pass for a transgender.
The voice would throw you off. The way she carried herself was almost like it was quote unquote tomboyish. But she wore a dress though. She wore a dress.
No, nope. She wore pants all the time, bro. What do you mean? Think about it. She wore pants all the time, bro.
Oh yeah, you're right. She did wear pants.
She wore pants. She never wore a dress, bro. You think about it. I know it's been a long time, bro, but think about it. She never wore a dress.
You're right. I'm thinking about it. You're right. She did wear pants. Yep, you're right.
We just gonna look at all this shit because, like I said, I'm just, I like to put stuff together and try to figure it out. So I'm just tripping on the shit, right? So now, boom. After Abe's show got canceled, right? Because he was trying to get more money. He thought he was so big shot that he was gonna get more money. They was like, this shit wasn't that hot. So they got rid of his show, and this is how he went there. So his publicist, that's the word I was trying to think of. His publicist, the dude publicist, Ty Bridges publicist, when he was 13 years old, he's the one that brought him in for this role, right? The way that he brought him in was the molestation. He was ritualized into this role by being molested at 13 years old and getting fellatio from this producer. And this is how he got that role. This is what he talked about in his book later.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah, what was that? Right after that, a lot of sitcoms came out, and then what was that sitcom? Oh, it's at the tip of my tongue. Is it Family Ties? No, not Family Ties, but I'm pretty sure all of them was doing it. But it was one
in my damn show. It been over. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
But yeah, it was one famous one.
What you were saying? What?
Go ahead, Copper.
Sorry, bro. So what you're saying that Willis probably exposed the casting couch game, like
yes, bro.
Type shit.
Definitely, he did in the book. He wrote a book, bro. He exposed that shit before any of this this pedophilia, all this shit.
Oh yeah.
He been exposed, but you know what they did? They put it down like he knew what he was talking about. Oh, he's a drug addict. He's an alcoholic. He's a this, and nobody believed that man.
No, I remember that when he was going on like several talk shows and shit trying to explain it, and they was brushing him off and and then they had tried to expose him like he's back on drugs and blah 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 skippy woo woo. It was that damn, it's at the tip of my tongue. He was a child actor. And he started exposing them. But
the one from Partridge Family, the Partridge
Family.
There it is. His name, I know
Partridge Family.
Yep.
There you go. But yeah, they do. Oh,
What you
but
say,
no,
Pastor?
yeah,
We can't hear you.
yeah, Copper Tone was breaking up.
Right.
But yeah, they do that, Sister Soul. So when Willis talked about that in his book, he was right. And remember, I don't know if he did expose this in his book, but between
Hmm.
him and that white girl used to do a lot of dope together,
Yes.
and
That's
she
how.
OD'd in front of him. She
So
OD'd
much
in front
shit
of him.
went on, and we wouldn't know none of this stuff. Remember, because they couldn't expose nothing because it would stop their business.
Yep, yeah,
The shit
yeah.
is crazy. So when he was denied, like I said, he went on. He got molested and ritualized into this particular program. And now check this out, get deeper, right? Because during that time, right after his molestation, and I'm gonna use this word so you guys can hear the molestation, molek, molek, molek. If you're not familiar with that, guys, molest, you can look it up, but I'm just throwing it out there so you guys can check out what I'm talking about. This all goes into the same shit. Lbib, all this shit goes into the same shit. I ain't gonna go into that, but y'all check it out. Now, his mom, after this, right? She ended up working with what's his name? Carl Weathers. Remember Carl Weathers?
Yeah, you talk about Action Jackson.
Yes. Right after, check this out. Right, right after Todd Bridges was molested, right? And then he went into that role, right? The mom started working with Carl Weathers immediately. And she ended up doing 5 sets for 5 different commercials right after that. The father, who was a raging maniac, supposedly, allegedly, his dad, this is what he said, so I don't even got to say allegedly, he said it. His dad was abusive. He was abusing the mom. He used to beat the crap out of her. He used to beat the crap out of the kids. So everybody was afraid of him. All of them were afraid of him. Todd with all his brothers and sisters, the mom were all afraid of his dad, right? It was so bad where it was a rumor that the mom was having this affair with Carl Weathers, and the dad came on set to confront him because he was pissed off about it. And the mom ended up, I believe, not working with him after that because there was so much going on with the dad, and then they were being exposed for this so-called affair they were having. This affair that happened after your son been molested, and he get this role. Now you get into the business of now you're producing commercials. That's a whole nother fucking story. This whack ass woman.
Mhm.
So she was having an affair supposedly, and it was all due to him being abusive. The dad was abusive to her and the family. So if she did have an affair, I mean, maybe she did, but they couldn't prove it. But it was talked about, and that's what was said. So he was traumatized and he was tortured. He was traumatized and tortured at home, abused and beat. Then he went to work and he was tortured and abused as a child sexually and being drugged and all of these other things. So with the trauma and being tortured, this is something that's called a banana complex. And they always said that Gary Coleman was the star, right? He was the star. Todd Bridges wasn't the star. Gary Coleman was the star. Remember, he was a little cute kid, like that. He wasn't worth anything. He even was on the top bunk. Why would the big kid be on the top bunk? If y'all remember, he had his bed was on the top bunk, and Gary Coleman had the bottom bunk. Any normal household, the oldest child would get the bottom bunk, right? Did y'all anybody notice that?
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that.
Yeah, that was real crazy.
Boy,
What you
he
say,
must have
bro?
had a hell. He must have peed the bed a lot that they gave him the bottom bunk. But goddamn, so you saying that the fucking dad was like Don King and Ike Turner ran down on a studio gangster Action Jackson. He didn't want no smoke. Oh, this is it.
No smoke, bro.
God
He was
damn,
no smoke.
no smoke.
So talk,
Action Jackson was non-Action Jackson. Huh?
at that
Damn.
time, shit, because his dad was about to put a stop to all that, all of that. So when we think about this, guys, Gary Coleman's with him, right, being a star, all of this and that. Of course, all this was going on with him. Shit, they were showing us in the face. Shit, they was tapping his ass, playing with him, and all this other stuff, all on film. It was sad that we saw all this stuff and we weren't able to recognize it because we didn't know everything that was going on back then. All this stuff was kind of hidden from us. You know what I'm saying? Um, all the pedophiles would have been exposed at this time, guys, if they were able to bring this out. If Todd Bridges, when he wrote that book, hadn't been deemed a drug addict and a drunk, all of this would have been exposed then. It wouldn't have took to now to have this exposed. I want y'all to keep that in mind, right? I want y'all to keep that in mind. That if these two famous black child stars, as they say, black children stars, right, would have brought this out and exposed all of these Caucasians in this industry, all the stuff that we're going through now would have been going on back then. They would have brought all this stuff out. So Todd Bridges
Whoa, whoa,
actually
whoa,
is the
whoa,
one
whoa.
who started the exposure with the book. And Gary Coleman could have confirmed it. But did he confirm it? Do y'all remember? Hell no. He didn't confirm it. He was under that Moloch spell. I heard you trying to say something. Go ahead, Copper. What you want to say, bro?
No. God damn, sis, man. You mole. God damn. Hey,
Molech.
I don't know, man. It would have took more. Like they would have had like superstar child actors, and you mean to tell me just a bunch of smartphones and cameras would have made the exposure?
Exactly,
No, but
bro.
that was how.
Ain't that some shit?
Hey, and it's still not exposed. So now let's go dark and deep. If Denzel and them didn't have to do some things up front, man, they had to do some bootleg type undercover something,
Talk about it. So Gary must have been
Hey,
quieted, right? How was Gary quieted? Think about that, right? He married that nice little Caucasian girl. The same one that was there with his mysterious death that quieted him forever confirming any of this information. Y'all remember, y'all know that, y'all. Y'all
Yeah,
remember that
I remember
mysterious
that.
death?
I remember
Now,
that. I
talk about it,
remember that.
Diadex. Talk about
And
it. I'm
she,
gonna cut you up
yeah,
right
she
there.
took his. She was she took his estate. So yeah, I remember that. I yeah.
Yeah. So
They
yeah.
I think Gary wanted to talk, but
Yeah.
they gave Gary enough money for him to shut up. And they start giving
Yeah.
him cameo spots in movies so he won't say anything. And he was
Exactly.
yeah, because remember they said he was a parking lot attendant at one
Yes.
time in Hollywood. So he was ready to tell it
Yep.
all. Because Todd Bridges was already out there telling it. He
Mm-hmm.
was already out there telling it. Gary Coleman was the button. He was the face. So if Gary
Yes.
Coleman say it, now you don't have no choice but to believe it because Gary Coleman was a star. Here
That's
is the
right.
yeah, here's a disgruntled worker we had to fire because he was on drugs. That's what they made it seem like.
Yeah.
He was
Yep.
disgruntled, he
They
on drugs, blase splivvy, because just like the Willis character, he was tired of that shit. Or he didn't want to get down with that shit.
He
But
was tired of it, baby, because
yeah,
he went into it during his turning into a manhood. Now Gary Coleman was still young, so it was bad enough. But when they're young like that, it's still traumatizing. But imagine him coming into that at his age. He's going into manhood. That was even more traumatizing on him. So he
yeah.
welcomed all them drugs and the alcohol and all this stuff to cover his pain because he's going through all this stuff at work. He's being abused at home.
Oh yeah.
Imagine this man. That's just sad. That's crazy. So they had to quiet him up, and then they had to pay Gary off, keep him in tune, like you said, bribing him with a role here or a little scene here or a commercial there. This is how they kept him quiet. And then they had the wife. She was paid. I forgot her name, but she was affiliated with somebody that was a part of that film industry.
Hey,
So
that's why that the CEO of a different world thought it was okay to do that same shit. And I ain't saying no names, but we know who the CEO of a different world is. And he was out there doing that same shit, but not with little boys. He was doing it with ugly, unimpressionable women, to say the least. Because the
right.
women that came forth, they was not attractive at all.
At all.
And
At
and
all.
that's
They
it.
were all
Right.
doing it. They were
Yes,
all doing it, bro. It was
exactly.
nothing. This is oh gosh. Okay. Let me say it like this. It was so undercover, but up front at the same time. And like you say, because he had such a great name, right? And
Hmm.
the people weren't, there weren't any children involved with what he was going on. It was okay because he's
Hmm.
bringing in that money, right? Because this was
Right.
this was hot then. Everything they did was doing was hot. Everything was about us. That's how they was able to build these networks. They couldn't build it off nothing but the current. Let me go back to it. Where did it say about the current? The world, the Mr. Drummond Cash, a man is born, he's a man of means. They couldn't do nothing without them. They
Exactly.
needed us in order to get that you know what I'm saying, that money, to build that foundation, to build their organization to what it was, to bring that money in. They needed our currency, our genes.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for
The shit was
sure.
crazy. So, and that's why they all this happened. So, like we said, let's get back to it if I can get off topic. So Gary could have confirmed all this, right? If Gary would have confirmed that, the whole shit would have fell down. Everything, not only the children stars, but all this stuff they're doing now, everything that they're talking about now, all these people would have came down then. You know what would have happened? Hollywood would have been shut the F down.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. A lot of important people would have got exposed, like really exposed. Because even back then, how we got it today, where it's elite groups like Viacom and NBC, Peacock Group, all these groups that do control that entertainment media, yeah, they would have got exposed just like how they doing today. But those
Mhm.
CEOs stepped down and they in some remote island somewhere.
Right. They'll
You
never
ain't
be.
gonna,
They done got away with murder now. That's the whole
yeah.
thing, basically.
Now
They,
check this out. Check this out. This unrelated but related.
mm,
LL Cool J just got abducted to the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. There's
mm,
one man that's responsible for his success, and that's Russell Simmons, and he was not there.
mm. He wasn't there. You know why, right?
I know exactly why he wasn't
We ain't
there.
gonna talk about that right now, bro. Hold on. It's a whole nother. Listen, because I get tired of talking about this shit because these motherfuckers don't hear me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. I'm just, oh gosh. I don't have me a little drink today because I ain't feeling good. And I am really outside myself. I literally don't drink. I had some, a little red wine, y'all. I'm a little outside myself. So please forgive me if I'm a little beyond me. But yeah. So, brother, like you said, it was crazy, right? Because, wait, I got lost in thought. What was you just
I was talking about
Oh, snap.
how it's
Off the bills.
yeah, how this is related because uh, with the exposure back then, right? It was not it was not privy to a lot of people. So the CEOs didn't run nowhere. Like Woody
That's right.
Allen, he didn't have to run because it was not exposed like it
Oh,
is
oh,
today.
oh, yeah.
Now,
And
yeah,
look,
you
hold on, bro. I gotta touch on something I wasn't even gonna touch on, but I gotta say it. When you just said that, that's what I was trying to remember. Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons, one of the allegedly, biggest pedophile perverts in the industry. So many children went in up under him. So many children been abused. So many kids' lives has been effed up. Do y'all remember Foxy Brown?
yes.
Listen, do y'all know anything about this story? I don't want to get off subject into a whole, because that's a whole nother story in this damn self. But all these stars that came in up under these weird freaking freaks and perverts, and they have gotten away with this stuff, y'all. Some of them, let me just say this, some of them, the ones that is beyond, because it's been so long. A lot of them they paying for. Y'all might think they got away with their ass and got away with shit, but the majority of the ones back then, the ones that had, some of them have even passed away, but they got away with doing all these horrible, despicable things to all these kids. through not only the television, they used the television and then they did it all at the same time. It was all scripted. They also did it through the music industry because they started bringing in all this stuff with the hip hop and all this all at the same time. Look at the time frame. Look at the shit. I ain't gonna need to say shit. I'm gonna shut up for a minute. I want y'all to check out the time frame of when all these shows, these sitcoms and stuff was coming on and what was going on with this music. And we gonna talk about that. Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all deliberate. Go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah, shit. It's all correlated. All of it is remotely related. Some of it is directly related, but all of it is remotely related. So what that did was easing the cushion, right? If I watch that sitcom enough, I would say white people are okay, and then I go to Penn State and get raped. because I
Mm,
because I think white people
well,
are
listen.
So you ain't safe
Repeat that.
nowhere, huh? At fucking church, camping, and athletes, huh? The the
exactly.
the the fucking scouts will scout boys, huh? Let's get it.
Yep,
Hey, and
exactly.
that old boy killed himself, huh? So how many head coaches, huh? Did the late great Bobby Bowden have some skeletons, huh? Was Deion Sanders, huh? Was prime time talking out to us, saying help, help, huh?
Hmm. See, yep, yep. What happens in those locker rooms? A
Stays in the
motherfucker will,
locker rooms, huh? Stays in the locker
man.
rooms, huh?
Look,
Huh?
a lot of these things are rituals. You heard a lot of these things are rituals. And if you
Yes.
want to get in the industry, you got to do three things or a couple things. You got to kill somebody, sacrifice somebody. You got to get raped, take it up there. You got to do some humiliation. You got to do something, sacrifice for the ritual. You know what I'm saying? Eddie
Oh, for sure.
Winslow, yeah, Eddie Winslow. He was touched or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, oh, girl that died in that show, Myra, the one that was she died when she was young. She had a crush on Urkel. She was touched. She died.
Yep.
Uh, you know what I'm saying? You look at Epstein Island. Trump was on the list, right? And a lot of other people's on that list that you may not heard of. And they got a thing called what's it called? NAMBLA, ran by George Soros, the Man Boy Love Association.
Hmm.
It's a legal pedophile ring, right? You got Barry Gordy touching
Hmm.
some of the Jackson. You got Quincy Jones touching Tupac, touching
Yep.
Michael Jackson, right?
Mm.
You got all of these names of producers and people in high places touching little boys and little girls. Alicia Keys sat on Cosby lap inside the Cosby Show when she was younger.
I
But
remember that.
how
Yep.
come is it that everybody always sitting on Cosby dick? I mean Cosby penis,
And then
right?
that star. And then that star, bro.
Right. So we was watching some subliminal stuff go down right in front of her face, and
Exactly.
we was like, oh, this is all fun, it's all cute, this all games. But now we older, we like, damn, they got our
Right.
ass.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And what it does for the people who don't be in Hollywood, it still set them up for the priest. It has set them up for the coaches. All that shit, all that pedophile shit, it sets the kid up for that. When they watching that shit and it looks fair seeming on that film, like you said, Bill Cosby having the kids in his lap, not knowing we sitting on the lap of a scout and his dick getting hard, but we don't know because we thinking that's normal from watching it on TV. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Pudding pops,
Everybody and
huh?
all these people with they uncles, these little so-called uncle this, uncle that, and they sitting on the little kids like, oh, you want some change? Oh, uncle got $1 for
Mhm.
you. Oh, come on, let's go get some ice cream. Y-
He's
Yeah.
I'm
selling.
sorry, I was
Look,
going off
look,
to something else, but yeah,
you
all that.
good. The aunties were doing it too. You saw what's that movie called? What's that movie with the boy? He from Jersey.
It's a lot.
Oh, you
Damn.
talking about Antoine Fisher?
Antoine Fisher. Right, he was touched. You know what I'm
Nigga,
saying?
yeah.
And we gotta look. And look, the white people got touched too, and they couldn't talk because they was looked at as crazy. Macaulay Culkin, Richie Rich,
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Macaulay
for
Culkin.
sure.
You know, he was in Neverland. You know, if you went to Neverland, you can't never tell shit about it or out of your ass.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Emmanuel
saying?
Lewis.
Cosby selling
Oh yes,
fucking
I forgot
chocolate
about Emmanuel
pudding
Lewis.
pops and putting them in vanilla jello, vanilla jello, vanilla cups
Pudding
and shit.
pops.
Man, this shit is
Pudding pops. Jello
subliminal, huh?
pudding pops.
Pudding pops, huh? Pudding pops,
Hey,
chocolate.
look, the legal age now, what is 14? You could a 50-year-old man can have sex and get married to a 14-year-old in certain states, United States. In Georgia, it's 16. That
Hey,
means a
so
60-year-old man could go to my niece and be like, "Hey, what's
so what
up?"
you saying, bro, is man, so they
You
You
broke
went
up
out.
again.
bought the fucking black schools to touch
You breaking
the
up, man. You sound like an old
peas
school
of
song.
it's compromise, huh? Compromise, huh? The Black
You,
Lives Matter,
you got
huh?
you got you got to repeat everything you just said because you was breaking up.
Hey, so the Black Lives Matter, so George Soros, you was really funding perverts are us, huh? All that money is going to fund the pockets of the politicians that's going to pass the laws in the near future, huh?
Right, right. That's exactly. Hey, man, look, right. Black Lives Matter. You know they getting paid off for the blood of black men, right? And they support single homosexual men or women, and they want them people to raise the kids up. And what you think them gay people? Listen, if it's Black Lives Matter, it take a man and a woman to create a life, but the leaders are two women. They can't create no life, right? And then if they was to raise a kid, how you gonna tell me that two two homosexuals is gonna raise a straight person up, and that person that they raise may touch somebody else? Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
Say
And
that.
as a matter of fact, they beat this. They have beat it. They have beat this into our fucking psyche. Because I myself, I am a fan of The Wire, but if you look at certain characters in there like Kima and Omar, the motherfuckers are full blown gay in the way they
Don't even
sexual.
go there with the Omar, man. Don't even go there, man.
Yo, Leonard.
And don't even go there.
Leonard said, "Wasn't Peter Pan a fucking a pedophile,
Yeah, yeah.
taking
Peter
pictures?"
Fan was a grown up.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, he was a grown. That's why Neverland. Michael Jackson called it Neverland.
Right.
Word.
Mhm.
Uh, yo, man.
They're pounded. They get it one way or another. They get it across because when they come and pick, just say the least you up, you gonna know what to expect if they come and get you.
So, is it possible, guys, that these ass fucking hoes, I'm sorry, that these people, right, what they doing is they do this, right? They check and they can measure or critique our reaction, right? And then when they critique our reaction, they'll look at it and they can say, then, okay, they're talking about this thing and that thing, so they know what's going on and they're seeing this. They can tell what or damn, how I'm saying this shit. How look, they could tell how quick we waking up or what we're waking up to when we're waking up to it. How smart we are when we notice things. How can they pull what over our eyes? What can they get biased? What can't they get biased? The things we will see and notice, what we won't notice. That's just some shit running through my head. What y'all think about that?
Yeah,
Well,
they do it subtly. I'm sorry if I cut somebody off.
oh no, go ahead, no problem.
They do it real subtly to put it inside your subconscious to subconsciously accept it because they have rules that was created by Madame Blavatsky's student. I forgot her name. I could get it for y'all later. And she
Jay-Z?
actually, excuse me.
No, I'm sorry. I know I was like, who,
Oh,
Jay-Z? But yeah.
no, 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 no. Her name was Alice A. Bailey. Alice A. Bailey started the Freemason headquarters inside United Nations, and she had 10 points that she said that had to be accomplished in order to start to have heavy control over America and achieve the Freemasonic goal. And one of them points was to make everything homosexual, music, movies, TV shows, and she also, one of her points was subconsciously promote pedophilia and debase all things. Like if you ever was to watch so-called porn, you got Japanese porn called hentai, and most of the hentai it's with older men with younger girls, or with older girls and younger boys. I'm talking about like kids. I'm talking about 30-year-olds with 7-year-olds having sex, and this is all throughout there, right? And yeah, man, let me not be long-winded. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, that shit that's that's that remote connection.
Real quick,
The
guys,
remote.
we have Jason just joined the panel. Just so y'all know he's up here. Thanks for joining us, brother.
You're welcome, sister. Anytime. And peace and love and chat to the peace and love to the panel in chat. I mean, sorry, but it's good to see y'all up here.
Peace and love, peace and love. But yeah, all that is remotely connected because up here in the Americas is just as bad, if not worse, with them fucking snuff films and shit, and they S&Ms, all that bullshit that they do. And yeah, the what they call child pornography or pedophile pornography, whatever the fuck they call it, that shit right there in itself. Old boy wouldn't be able to call a show called Catching a Predator if it wasn't for these motherfuckers out there.
Hey, hey, bruh, it go all the way back to the Roman statues. You remember you seen the Roman statues with the little boys
Yep.
playing with the man things, and you see the pictures. You know, everybody playing with that stuff. It's something called the pink swastika. And inside Hitler times, you know, what's it called? The Holocaust. During them times, you know, they believed that if you had sex with each other as men or a little boy, you would gain a higher enlightened consciousness or whatever.
Right.
So they doing things that they always been doing, and they showed us in their old little statues. But bro, I'm my bad. I cut you off, my dude. I ain't mean to
Oh,
do
no
that, man.
problemo, no problemo, because it's all remotely and directly connected. It's all connected. That's the reason why Valentine's Day is celebrated with Cupid. And everybody should know about the Roman mythology about Cupid because he was a gay boy. He was a little gay boy running around butt naked. But yeah,
Seven Black Zion said that this is the programming particularly is called perspective victimization.
I think I
Yeah,
know
but
about
about
that. I think I know about that program. I've been I think I was just getting into it about a year ago when I started looking at it in the psychological patterns of the human genome. I think I mentioned that in the last live stream. But I've been doing some research on what he or she just said in the chat. So yeah, I know a little bit about that too.
yeah, going back to that whole Cupid thing, I think the dude name was Eros, right? Eros. And if y'all look at the Bible, right? In the Bible, you had a woman named Semiramis, I believe her name was, and she made it with her son, or was it Ishtar? I believe it was Ishtar. Like the origins of Easter has to
Yeah.
do with the mother sleeping with the son, right? And if you look at any of these ancient stories, what was Pa, Ra, Pa, Amen, and Ra, whatever, in all these ancient stories, the mother sleeps with the son and makes a whole new baby. Or uh, a man and a woman make a hermaphrodite. You know, Hermes and Aphrodite make a hermaphrodite, right? I
Right.
don't know, y'all. Let me stop.
It
I'm about
does
to talk
sound
to.
about right to me because the hermaphrodite is already a what do you call it, a this big, what's that disfigurement? Damn, I'm losing my words, y'all. I am so sorry. Um, yeah, disfigurement, right? When it's like mangled up, or like when someone's born like with some type of some body disfigurement.
I call it mutilation. But
A mutilation. Thank you, brother. A mutilation. That's what I was trying to think. I couldn't think of the word. I told you I'm kind of off tonight, y'all. Stay with me. Stay with me. So the mutilization. Exactly, brother. Thank you.
yeah, and again, all this is directly and remotely connected to where we at today in 2021. But it's I would say this, out of all the mess that it is going on, right? This little small dot in that yang, the yin and the yang, you got the black dot and the white dot. But it's that little dot though in that. And you got people who's exposing it. And when they exposed it, they had to run. And you
Mhm.
had big wigs. You got big wigs running. They ran. So we know something is up. So now it got to have a trickle down effect, which it is, because the average Joe Schmo is finding out that, okay, uh, certain shit is happening for
Mhm.
certain people, blase splitter, the sacrifice and shit like that. So the regular Joe Schmo is knowing that this is taking place, but at the same time, they still getting them. They're giving plenty green money, plenty green money. And next thing you know, they young thuggers. Next thing you know, they fucking I think 42 Doug, man, I think that dude gay as a motherfucker, but this is what happens in today's diaspora. Then when I compare and contrast it to like 50 Cent, because he's the man right now, and I'm using that in quotations.
50 Cent, the man, what he doing? I ain't heard of
Oh
him in
man, he
years.
got stars wrapped around his finger.
Why?
It's his late night sitcoms. All his money. I don't think it's his idea. It's just like how he did with Vitamin Water. He's doing the same thing with Stars, the app. He got all these people that's gravitating towards it. You got the BMF, you got Power. It's a whole lot, a whole series of powers that's coming out, and he's building up his name in what they
Oh,
call,
you talk. Hold on, brother. You're talking about that show he's on or something?
yeah, he's building up in his name as a late night TV mogul, like a Tory Spellings. But it's,
Oh gosh.
yeah, trust me, for him to even have that, all these young stars that's coming up, hey, I'm just gonna try to be a fly on the wall. They getting fucked in their ass, or they got to get fellatio.
This is
And
what I'm
right now,
trying to figure out. Yeah, how he just all of a sudden is doing all this, and I thought 50 Cent was like, really not really doing that. I know he had
oh
some songs out.
man,
I know he had a couple of movies. Then I remember this he went into some TV shows or whatever. But
That's what's
I mean,
up.
I didn't really think he was anything big. So that's just really
yeah,
Oh
crazy
that's
how
no,
these
big.
people.
50 has always been like Jay-Z in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah, if y'all look up on YouTube, they actually got a song together promoting some product or whatever, rapping together on a
Mm.
commercial. And as a rap person that study rap, I never seen them together on a song or on a video together, but on that one they was.
Yeah,
And
just like real quick, babe, just like this so-called what's his name, Kanye and what's his face in the with this stupid thing, the concert they're about to be doing in California. And when they've been beefing for how long? Every time you turn around, it's a beef with Kanye and so-called what's his name, and then now all of a sudden they're gonna do a concert together. Does that make any sense?
who's what's his
Him,
name? Drake?
Anybody? Drake, the Drew Drake, yeah, Drake and Kanye
Okay.
doing a concert for the Freed Larry
Drama
yeah,
Hoover.
that's
Brothers.
So,
that's
hmm,
that's that's Jay
a
Prince.
lie.
That's Jay. Well,
Jay
Jay
Prince,
Prince. Yeah,
yeah.
Jay Prince is known to be to bring
Mm.
shit together. That's that's they total opposites, and he the only one that can bring shit together.
Don
He
So
King.
okay,
Jay,
okay. Hold on. You just put me on something now. How is it that Jay Prince is the only one that can bring things together? Please tell
Jay
me this real quick, because
Jay
I'm trying
Prince is the
to get to something.
Jay Jay Prince is like the Quincy Jones of hip hop.
Exactly.
Right, right. But I'm saying, oh, you're saying, okay, okay. I thought you were saying he can do anything with anybody. So you're saying when it comes to music, let's just specify, brother. When it comes to music, Jay Prince is the only one that is supposedly known to get any stars to stop beefing and get together for this big event or whatever the case may be.
That's
He's the only
the
one that's, this
allure,
is his
sister.
reputation, is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
I
Who
never knew
who
that,
else?
but I didn't, of course, wouldn't be inquiring about it. I
The
comes
big
to that,
head,
right?
forehead
And,
minister too.
huh?
Sorry. The big
And
head forehead minister,
Hold on, I'm
but
trying to
that
get one place. I'm trying to get one place real quick, Hopper. Hold on one second, please. You got it right after me. I'm saying with that, right, when it comes to them doing that, I literally forgot. Go ahead, Copper.
I,
It
I'm
wasn't you,
sorry,
brother. It was
baby
me. It
girl.
wasn't you. I just wanted to
Sorry,
say that
sorry,
too because it probably sounded like you
sorry.
made me
Hey,
forget. You didn't make me forget, bro. I was thinking two or
that's
three things at one time, but go ahead, you got it.
that's the allure, and Jay Prince is Drake's handler, huh? But see, the big head minister, big five head minister, he has the allure. He is the ultimate for all of the Negroes. Minister just bartering between nations, the
Okay, I know what
middleman.
I was gonna say. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. So listen real quick. What it is they're lying and doing this to do what? The same thing they just did at this boys concert, right? This finna big this okay, let me say, how can I say this? This finna be the big kabang when it comes to a lot of people, right? Because it's the first one was the Dobbly, whatever this woman, his mom's name was, Kanye's mom, the concert he had for that album.
Donda.
Donda.
Donda. I looked it up. I don't remember what the etymology is. Anybody know? Y'all, I'm not gonna do it. But the mom, right? The first one was the mom. With Kanye spending all this time doing his rituals in there in the stadium for about 4 months straight, right? He didn't leave it. He didn't go anywhere. His bathroom there. His food was brought there. He didn't go nowhere. He stayed in the stadium. So he was in there for months preparing for this concert, right? And when he had the concert, they had everybody in there, all these kids, mostly kids, all these people up in there, and they couldn't leave the stadium. They were basically trapped in the stadium, so they had to stay there during the whole concert. They weren't allowed to leave, even if they said, "Oh, I got a emergency, I need to go home." Nope, you can't leave till the concert is over. Everybody that went there had to have the shot. So that was another thing with that. And then at the end of the concert, he rises himself through this portal at the top of the stadium. Okay, that was step one. Then step two came with the other guy. I don't want to mention his name. I don't even like saying his name because this one was just too much for me. But y'all know what I'm talking about. So that was step two, right? So with doing that, they lied about everything. They lied about the people that got hurt. They lied about the people that died. They lied about the number of people. The dude lied about his sympathy. I mean, he was right in people's face, acting like he cared, showing that I don't. Showing that I'm an android, showing that I'm a robot, showing that I'm a clone, showing that I'm anything but a real human freaking person standing here saying this shit. Because all I did was play a damn role so I can get all these people down here because we just used them for a sacrifice and all this shit we're doing because we're trying to save some of these people that's really effed up out here because we've been cooperating with Molech and doing all these different things and handling things and we are busted out and all our shit is exposed. So we're trying to do everything we can to cover this shit. So we must do sacrifice after sacrifice. Now, boom, here come the big boom. That's gonna be this Drake Kanye shit. I don't know why nobody else ain't saying this but me. But go ahead, I'll let y'all talk.
I tell you what, Kanye West covered his ass on his first album when he came out with Jesus Walk. He covered his ass. That's they covered it. That's their covet. That's as Satan as it is. He covered his ass. He covered his ass.
Talk
Some
about it.
some people do. Most people don't. And when they ass is covered, they'll try to sabotage your career if they can. If they can't, then they'll bring you among the foe. Because remember, uh, after I think late registration, when he came out with those Red Octobers, they was trying to destroy his career. But when he came out with 808 Heartbreaks, that was not as big as in a rotation. It wasn't. And when he came out with 808 Heartbreaks, he was saying some shit in there. It was a lot of shit he was saying in that album. So the industry seen him turning, and it's crazy. A lot. I don't know if anybody ever seen his interview with Kanye West. That's the reason why I say he covered his ass. He said he sold Dame Dash out. He had an interview with Sway, and Sway asked him. He said, "Do you think you did Dame dirty?" He looked in the air and said, "Yep." Right at he said, "Yeah, I did. I did when I signed with Rock Nation, because he was supposed to have went with Dame Dash." Now, with that being said, all of that power moving, right, putting people in positions. Now, if you're not willing to do something to be in that position, because I think Dame Dash is not willing to do a lot of shit. Now, fucking on bitches, he'll love that. Put a bitch on the table, lay her out, sexual sacrifice, he all with it. Children, he probably frown on it. Other shit, he'll probably. So they had to get rid of that motherfucking mentality. You understand what I'm saying? Who else I could think of that's like that? Shit, not many, because I think, and it's another thing. I don't know if anybody paid attention to that tap 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 video with Nav and fucking Meek Mills. Watch that video and turn the music off. Straight pedophile shit, dog.
Right.
My jaw dropped. That's why I'm saying all this shit is remotely connected. And it's funny that we are talking about these rappers like this. Now, I don't know what Kanye West is doing. He on some whole nother shit in terms of he did the traditional sacrifice by, offering the blood. You understand? But he on some other shit now. He on some whole
Real
other
quick,
shit.
bro. Both of
Okay.
them dropped down. I know Doom must be want to bring something up, so that's probably why he dropped down. But Copper dropped off, bro. If I was being a little rude, I hope you don't think I was being rude. That's why you dropped off. But you good. Come back up. You wasn't doing nothing. It's just me. Shit, I was trying to hurry up and say what I was saying because I keep forgetting shit. But go ahead. Go ahead. You good, Dad?
Oh yeah, but somebody said something, or I was echoing.
Oh, echo.
Yeah, with that, yeah, all of it is remotely connected, and what they do is that they build societies out of this, right?
Real quick, Dad. Jason, if
Mhm.
you want to say something, sweetheart, just jump in. We just be chatting now. It's only us up here, so if you gotta say something, just jump in. He won't think you're being rude. It's just us.
Oh no. I was just listening in. I
Okay.
wanted y'all to make sure to get. I just wanted you guys to make sure you got all of your info out before I spoke. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, well yeah, I'm for the land this plane. Real quick, uh, it's all remotely connected, given the fact that people build societies off this. It's like your Barry Weiss, Epstein, Jay Levine, the Levine character, all these, even Clyde Davis, all these people build societies around the sacrificing. And when they build these societies, they make it look fair seeming. So just like how he was saying, Whitney Houston's, the fucking New Edition, all the motherfuckers got touched. You know what I mean? Even fucking
Yeah.
Omarion had a song called Touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they
Crazy. Them
yes,
kids,
yes.
ain't they? I'm sorry, bro. And I don't know if that's the name of the group, but isn't that is Marion the one that was in the group where they was living like in the hotels and shit with the manager? They was showing pictures. They was all in their drawers and stuff. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, B2K.
That was them, right? Yep, B2K.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. And once you at a level of sexy, right? There's no limit to your sexiness. So if you gotta make bra and panties look sexy as a man. Yeah, they make you do like Rolling Stones. Once you get in Rolling Stones, you gone. You gone. You done. You done.
Wow.
They got you. Yep. Yeah, and these media platforms and these societies, they all work hand in hand. What the media is going to do, they're gonna do their best to keep it clean in terms of washing hands,
Mm-hmm.
pointing fingers,
And shit,
making sure that
they wanted the actors, bro. This what people gotta really see and understand. These the media, right? When you're looking when you looking at the news, right, it's like you have to look at it just like you're watching a TV show, just like you're watching a movie, just like you're watching a sitcom and shit, because it's all the same damn thing. When they're showing this news forecast, right? They have these people sitting up there. They are literally actors. Their role when they're sitting there, their role is news forecaster, anchor, yeah, anchor two,
right,
host.
exactly.
You understand? You guys have to really see this for like literally what it is. It's really like right, really,
Hey,
really just what it is.
getting
So
back to, oh, I'm sorry.
So these people are actually just doing what they're supposed to. They have a script that's sitting right in front of them. Now you know that they're gonna read the script and tell you what they're told to say. This is why they have script. If they were just telling you a story, like, okay, let me just say this. If I'm a news anchor, right, and I'm taking care of a story, right, and I know that I'm gonna be presenting in front of everybody, I'm gonna know all of my facts. When I get up there in front of the camera, I'm ready to go, right? When I come to you guys, I had what happened when we started this show? I had everything together that I want to talk to y'all
Hmm.
about. I went over my information, boom, then we started talking about the stuff. I would be less than sufficient if I was not ready and prepared to talk about my subject at hand, right? Even
Hmm.
if something happened, my computer broke down, this, and that, I might not have had all of that information memorized, but I know what I was talking about and I've been able to talk about. And just like I was saying, and the brother jumped in, yeah, so it's still within the same conversation. So I know what I'm going to be speaking about. If these people are up here and they're having to take this information, read from for somebody to tell them what to say, they couldn't have done this story themselves. A reporter does the story. The anchor is a reporter and the anchor. They go hand in hand. So this is the person that actually goes out in the street. They're finding out what's going on. They call, they do the research, they're finding out, what the deal is. They know the information. They don't need anybody to feed them information to tell to the show. So they're following a scripted line, and they have to make sure that they're seeing this to read it exactly how they want it, because the wording has to be correct. It has to be, if it's a mistake that's made, the mistake is making made on purpose. Believe this. If something stupid happened on the set, or listen, y'all, this okay, go ahead, because I'm gonna keep going on because these stupid
Oh no, no,
ass.
you right, right. That's what I was about to say. Like getting back to the crux of the original, what you said from before. The world don't move to the beat of just one drum. So some might
Exactly.
what may not be right for some. That in itself, right? When you bring that to attention, right, as a reporter, right? This is now we anchored down on that. That's what that anchor's. I'm assuming that's what the anchor's supposed to mean in a name. But when you did report on that, I'm telling you, I'm letting you know. I paid attention, but I didn't pay that attention to it. I
Mm.
did not pay that attention to it. So when you were saying it, now it's starting to ring a bell. Like, okay, yeah, now because when I look at the sitcom and look at episodes, it would bring a question like, why is he doing that? Like, why why is he picking him up, right? And pinching his cheeks and shit and having strangers to kiss him and all
Yeah.
that.
Pat that
And
butt, boy. They love to pat his butt. Ooh, go ahead, Arnold. Go ahead, Arnold. Like he was a damn
right.
animal and shit. I'm sorry.
Oh no, 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 you good. But with that being
Excuse me,
said,
Jason.
you are ex- right being remotely connected. And what we was talking about in terms of media is concerned, you made another observation that could tie right back into uh, uh, um, what was the first lyrics I just mentioned? The beat of just one. You can't just dance to
The
the beat of
world
one
won't
drum. I
move to
can't.
the beat of just one drum.
Right, right. I can't think of the
Mhm.
lyrics, but it comes right back to that
Yep.
because here's the media, right? It's too different. They beating at their own drum now. You can either listen to NBC News and go to that drum, or you can beat at a drum that's more informational in terms of, because little that people know, it's going to bubble up in these airways that we call YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and all that shit. But what the big machine has to do, they have to overwhelm it, just like with television, because we can all start a TV show and start propagating the right shit. The FCC can't shut us down. If we abided by all the rules and regulations, we can propagate whatever the fuck we want to over the airways, right?
Right.
But what they're going to do is bombard you with other bullshit. Like, for instance, just say if you had a nice radio show, another radio show would be one dial away from you. Like you would be like 107. It'd be another station 108, and they'd be playing everything that is bullshit that everybody wants to hear. So nobody ain't listening to 107 no more. They listening to 108. They'd do that shit on purpose, but they can't stop you from getting your message out. So here's the other beating of the drum. The other beating of the drum is these underground, this is what I call them, underground messaging, or what they call them, grassroots messaging. And this is the only way it's going to come out in terms of how we're going to get it out, because we not NBC, ABC, or CBS. We not HBO, Fox, none of that shit. But if we did have that type of power in that platform, the same thing would be said. The same thing would be said. So going back to that saying, how the fucking lyrics go again? Not a man is born.
Oh, hold on, I'll go to him, bro. So what are you talking about, the part after the drum, or
No, the beginning. The
okay, it
verse.
starts off, it says, now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
There, right there. The world do not move to the beat of just one drum. That's the point I'm making. Because here you are beating your drum, and that shit is not moving like the rest of the world.
Right. Exactly. It can't, because it's
Right.
a rhythm. I'm in a total different skin.
Right. Exactly. So now here we are, what they called him, what they call him, the little drummer boy.
Yeah, little drummer boy. I remember.
Yeah. With him, that's when he was beating on a drum, to say the least, that was bringing people to see what was going on.
Mhm.
Right. Same thing that you doing. You beat you got your drum, you beat on it, and people followed. People came and followed. Right. We don't all, but the point you was making on that is like, it's double entendres. A lot of people ain't gonna get it. But with that being said, the exposure of this sitcom, even just through the beginning, what do the fuck they call it? The opening. There it is. Even through the opening, you were able to dissect a whole lot of shit that remotely connect. Because we went from there to Hollywood, from Hollywood, right, to the music industry, from the music industry, right, almost into like regular life, like, because that's where I was getting at. Like, if I see it enough and it looks okay to me, I can go to church and the pastor can feel on me, and I'm thinking it's okay because I see it on TV.
Exactly. It happened all the time, brother. So
Yes.
real quick, Prophet, what's going on? Welcome to the platform, Prophet Pre. And Hood brother back, Hood Doctor. He came back to give us a
No, you don't know already, sis.
Going pretty good. I think you echoing. I don't know if it's me or not, but double check. Go ahead.
I know it's tuning in, you know what I mean? Any clarifications, you already know. Hey, boy, you already know. Right here.
Okay, yeah, it was me echoing. I had to fix this thing is acting crazy too. I swear, every technical device I got an issue. This be crazy. But what's going on, brother? You want to screen share real quick?
Oh, I can't screen share. You have to pull it up on your
Oh,
thing.
that's
You
why you
just
sent
have
it to
to.
me. Okay,
Yeah,
hold on a second.
yeah. Sent it. But just to let everybody know, I know we was building on a lot of good
Wait, real
stuff,
quick though,
exposing the
before you even
industry.
start, I
But
didn't get it. I didn't get it. I don't see it.
it's from wavycode at gmail.com. Hold on, I'll send it again. Go ahead, yeah, my bad.
Okay. No, it was you. Go ahead. You was whatever you were saying. Go ahead. What you were saying, real quick.
Well,
So
man,
there's like a certain topic tonight, or is this like free for all type shit?
we was actually talking about exposing the industry. Bird Band effing dudes, Puffy effing dudes, the pedophilia, the rappers that's promoting just straight, satanic stuff and all of that,
All right.
y'all. Listen, I relinquish the mic for right now. I gotta do something real quick. But
Yeah, and
Okay.
it started
And
from
basically,
oh, I'm sorry,
yeah,
go ahead, sister.
yeah, basically it's we I started off with talking about different strokes. I'll say I don't want to go into everything we talking about, but real briefly, we talking about different strokes, right? That was what my whole premise started on. And the difference in why it was saying different. If you can remember when you looked at it, it had DIF, and it had apostrophe. Um, like that. It was spelled like that. It wasn't spelled out. So I'm thinking like, why was it spelled like that? That was really weird. So that's kind of what the show started off on. My premise or my thoughts on the different things and the coincidence of the sexual predators they were around and involved with the molestation of Todd Bridges, the covering up, turning him into a
Mm-hmm.
drug addict and an alcoholic, the book he wrote that he's just a drug addict, don't pay him attention. um Gary Coleman not, backing him up because he was still getting, certain things probably we can't say, but he was definitely still getting little roles and stuff, blah blah blah. The death of Gary Coleman being suspicious around the same time all these things were going on. Remember Jello Pudding Pop people and all this with their famous sitcoms, all this stuff was going on, different world, this, that. All these things coincide with the same thing with promoting transhumanism, sexual predators, molestation, drug usage, all this stuff that was going on. And we were kids and we just laughing. We don't know what's going on, da, da, da. Same thing, but now, it's more intent because we know all the stuff they're doing now. But then, it was just so crazy that, of course, we didn't know a lot of stuff we know now. But then I kind of think about like what with us, right? How are we feeling with this too? I'm looking at it like, are these people looking at us like putting this shit in our face? They put it in our face, obviously, because they have to tell us the truth. So when they put it in our face, are they really just putting it in our face? Or are they testing us by putting these things in our face to see how much we can evaluate, understand, comprehend, see what they're doing, figure out what we're talking about, seeing how our level of thinking is going, being able to tap into our currency that way, because they're looking into our minds via these frequencies, the codings and these binaries, and a lot of these things having to do with, the diff having to do with coding, actually, and us with the binary coding that's in us, and this is how they're able to connect with us with all these different things and these subliminal messages. And I mean, we kind of talked about a whole bunch of that kind of stuff and a little bit more. The brother's been elaborating with me, so I can't remember everything that was said, but that was kind of the gist of it. And the brother just jumping up now because he wants to bring something else and talk about something else as well. So,
hey,
just
but sis, um, oh, shoot,
yeah, I hear you, bro.
echo, yeah, a
Echo.
little echo, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Like also with them shows, it showed us a lot of family shows. A lot of us communicate with each other, like Martin, Fame Matters, the Coopers. All them shows. It got us acting a certain way with each other as family. We think that that's how we was always acting with each other, but that's not how we was always acting with each other. When we used to watch them shows, right? It had us acting out certain roles with our family after watching that. You know what I'm saying? It programmed us to act like them. You know what I'm saying? But as far as what I'm gonna show, man, I just got the Aborigine information. You know what I'm saying? I just want to share some little quick Aborigine information. If I could share it, I share. If I shouldn't share, let me know.
Oh,
If you
no,
have
I
to,
got it. I just got the email. Y'all can just talk while I pull it up. I'm gonna have to go back on the computer. But y'all can
let
keep chatting until I get it up.
I'm gonna ask
Yo,
the panel.
my guy,
Go ahead,
my guy.
yo.
Let me
Hold
ask you
on.
this. Do you what do you consider them in the same light? If I give you this equation right now, Aborigines versus Indigenous,
Hell no.
you don't put them in the same light.
No, I don't put them in the same light.
All right, what would you think is the difference?
The difference is indigenous, or some people call it Niji. It doesn't talk about people sprung from the soil. It doesn't talk about people that were there before everybody. It just says the first, indigenous really goes back to the first inhabitants, but
Of different
aboriginal,
lands.
right? But aboriginal aborigine goes straight specifically to these people. These people are these people of the land. They was here first before anybody. No questions asked. That's my opinion right there. I mean, I could support it with little sources, but it is what it is.
Because, like, in all the years I mustered, if I go to that study in my lifetime and shit like that, when I hear the term abo, I think about ABO. You know what that goes into. I know a lot of people don't like me hear me talk about this shit when it comes to
What is
blood
it going
types and
to?
shit like that.
Oh, ABO. Okay, brother.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The
You're
the
right
blood
though.
type shit. So when you go into the blood types, that's what aboriginal means. It means ABO, or who's original to the ABO system. Now the indigenous, you don't come from.
Right. All
It's
the
kind of like
indigenous
cousins.
are
It's
the
like
abos.
cousins, like indigenous and blood types, or indigenous and aborigines. It's like blood type conversation in the sense of, I would say they have a relationship like cousins. That's a
Man,
deep conversation right there, and I'm all game for that. You already know that shit goes. This is so.
hmm can I talk?
But
Can I
Yeah.
also interject on something regarding that?
Sure. Go ahead, babe.
All right. So I'm going to go into the digital aspect of how they would usually classify an aboriginal based on the scientific method and using a barcode. Do you mind if I present that?
I think you should just go up present it, bro.
All right. All right. Got you. So allow me to set this up. So, because since I don't have screen share, I'm going to actually use a board instead. Okay. All right. Now here's how they let's turn my camera on real quick. All right. Now I'm just gonna do a little test run before I write anything. Um. Can y'all see this right here? Can y'all just see this straight line right there?
I see it.
All right, cool. That means the visual's good. All right, got you. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to go into the how they would classify an Aboriginal person based on barcode and the scientific method. Now check this out, right? Here's how they can tell whether you're an Aboriginal or somebody from another part of the country, not just based on a DNA test or what your history was within the country. So